Breaking tonight, new Fox polls on the GOP field show a big surge in national support for Dr. Ben Carson. He has gained another 5 points since last month and is now neck and neck with Donald Trump, who is holding steady. But as Carson moves up, the mainstream media have ramped up the criticism, finding controversy in what many feel are simple statements. The latest involved Carson's answer to a question about the Bible.
You think we're at the end of days?
You could guess that we are getting closer to that. You do have people who have a belief system that sees this apocalyptic phenomena occurring and that they are a part of it, and who would not hesitate to use nuclear weapons if they gain possession of them.
Well, Dr. Carson appears to be referring to Iran, the Islamic State, and their violent vision, for ridding the world of infidels. But a number of media outlets treated the doctor like some sort of crazy street corner preacher. Salon writing, quote, Ben Carson's apocalyptic fantasies. We are getting closer to the end of days. Huffington Post UK chides Ben Carson believes Earth is getting closer to the end of days, but he still wants to be president. CNN removes any context from its headline, reporting Ben Carson, we're closer to end of days. Joining me now, Fox News digital politics editor Chris Stirewalt and the host of Media Buzz right here on Fox, Howie Kurtz. So what he was trying to talk about Iran, Stirewalt, and the takeaway was he thinks we're all going to die. We're all going to die.
We're all going to die. The end is nigh. Call Kurt Cameron because the rapture is upon us. It's all about to happen. And it is one in a series, a ongoing series of stories about Ben Carson is a kook, Ben Carson is a nut. And you hear it. He doesn't talk like a politician. So he's talking around it, and he's sort of meandering around, and he's not using soundbite language. So they're doing all these gotchas, and then they're sort of getting themselves.
But in their defense, Howie, he does make a lot of gaffes. He gives a lot of fodder to the media who want to slam him.
I understand the controversy about Ben Carson talking initially about not advocating a Muslim president. I understand the controversy about him saying what he would do if confronted with a mass shooter, although a lot of people misinterpreted that to say he was blaming the victims in Oregon. This I don't understand at all because it's a straightforward question about faith. We just saw his answer. What the media utterly failed to grasp, Megyn, is that the more they whack Carson or paint him as a strange figure, the more it helps him. It's almost Trump-like because they don't understand his appeal.
Do you think that there's any consideration of that? They're not supposed to be considering whether their questions help or hurt him.
No.
They're not supposed to be.
I think they don't understand Ben Carson. They don't understand his appeal. He does speak in the language of faith sometimes, and they feel like he's going to be sinking anytime soon. And they just there is an effort by some in the media to paint him as some kind of religious wacko who thinks the apocalypse is imminent.
Is it that far removed from what we saw from President Obama in the A block of the show, Chris, where it's like those who really mean the faith?
Well, exactly.
Right? And there's an implication that, like, he's a little...
And again, I also make a point that it was clear Ben Carson wasn't talking about the Southern Baptists. He wasn't talking about the United Methodists. Mm-hmm. He was clearly talking...
Our friends in Iran... Oh, wait.
Right. Yeah. So he was clearly...
The people who chant death to America.
But if you don't understand, if you've lived your whole life in the Acela corridor, if you have never been out of stone's throw away from a good corned beef sandwich in your whole life, if you have lived your whole life here, you have no idea what probably evangelical Christians think or believe.
Right.
You probably have no idea what people think about the end of the world or all of that stuff. And so you just point and go, look at those weirdo kooks. And Ben Carson's one of them.
And followed up with, they're so intolerant.
Right.
They're the most intolerant people.
Exactly.
Me, on the other hand,
I hate how intolerant they are.
How closely is this tied to the fact that Ben Carson is starting to kill it in the polls? I mean, the Fox News poll that just came out, look at this. He's at 23. He's up 5. Trump's at 24, down 2. So they are neck and neck, those two. And the next closest guy is Cruz, who's up 2, but he's at 10, 13 points behind Carson.
If Ben Carson was in single digits, most of this wouldn't be happening. The media would be focusing their attention elsewhere. And, of course, candidates that move up should get more scrutiny. But here's what's interesting. Early on in this race, Ben Carson said some dumb things. Obamacare is equal slavery. Gay guys people get to be gay when they go into prison.
Prison makes you gay.
Yeah, and he told me in an interview that he had learned that if he used that inflammatory language, people wouldn't hear his words, and he had stopped. Now he seems to have thrown this caution to the wind. His top strategist was quoted as saying, "Let Carson be Carson." I think he's embracing who he is, and some in the media don't like it, but clearly many Republican voters do.
The other thing we've seen, Chris, is that Carson beats Hillary Clinton by the widest margin of any GOPer running for president. he against Clinton in the Fox News matchup, 50% to 39. By the way, Hillary loses to every single Republican, Carson, Trump, Bush, Fiorina, but loses the most to Carson.
Yeah, and she's a disaster right now. But the thing about Ben Carson, he's doing it exactly wrong, right? He's doing everything you're not supposed to do. He had no name identification. He had no organization. He started out with no dough. He followed none of the rules. And
he's very low-key. He doesn't speak in sound bites.
And guess what happens? People react. They respond. They like him. It counts a lot to be liked and trusted. And what Republicans are saying is, we didn't know this guy before. The more we hear him, we like him, and they're going for it. And what's astonishing is, in the general electorate, his favorability ratings stay relatively high. People are not turning on him, and it's not having that effect. How long can this last? I don't know. But right now, he has defied gravity and defied every chattering head in the world who said he couldn't do it.
Republicans say the more you tell us that we're not supposed to like him, the more we do. Great to see you both.
You too.
Thanks, Megyn.